When you think of quality content, who exactly do you think of? Do you think of someone like Mauler, or JXE, or someone like that? Or do you think of HiTop Films and his, of course, oh so popular Black Adam video? Said video that we'll be covering today, a channel with over 300,000 subscribers at the time of recording, HiTop has seemingly made a name for himself in the YouTube media criticism community, garnering a rather infamous reputation in said community. Now, before I start this video, I would like to say that this video isn't meant to attack HiTop Films and the person who he is. It's more rather to question his standards in media. Some of his arguments come off as weirdly placed or cherry-picked, to say the least. So don't expect me to trash him over a certain piece of media that he likes. What you like is to your own taste, and people like film for different reasons than I do. Personally, I try to find quality in mainly the writing, but sometimes people put other values in media above the writing. With that being said, nothing is really perfect though. Better Call Saul is my favorite piece of media of all time, and while it is as tightly written as it can possibly be, there are still some things that bother me in the show, especially in its final season, which I consider to be one of the best seasons of TV to be put on the air. And unfortunately, I have learned the hard way that there is no way to look at a piece of media as objectively as possible. We all have different tastes, and it is nearly impossible not to be critically biased in some way. However, what I will be doing is holding HiTop accountable for the things he's said in media previously. So if there's something that comes up in the video that doesn't match the things he's said previously, then I'll talk about how hypocritical it is. Now that we've laid down the ground rules, let's take a look at HiTop's video.
Hierarchy of power did change. No, I fucking like that. I'm surprised by how much I had fun with that. I thought it was cool.
That's nice, Alex. I'm glad that you liked the movie more than I did, but can you please explain why you have that ugly bluish-green filter over your footage? Didn't you excessively complain about it in Titans for having a bluish-green filter, but yet that's the exact same thing that you're doing right here.
Which explains the awful blue filter, because of the blue.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's this god-awful blue tint that bathes every scene in the first couple of episodes. It makes me want to scrape my face against a brick wall and then scrape my face against glass. It takes away completely from the work of the cinematographers, the gaffers, and the costume designers.
Seems kinda weird that you're using this filter when you've firmly made your stance against it, but we'll move on.
Black Adam is dumb. That's what you'll hear from some critics, from some fans, from some haters. But what does it mean when a movie is dumb? Are we insulting it? Is a piece of art being dumb a bad thing?
Yes, Alex, calling something dumb is insulting it. If I were to walk down the street one day and call someone dumb, I would doubt they would take it as a compliment. By writing standards, if something is dumb, it means it's poorly written. However, when you criticize this movie, it seems to be a lot of your problems are with the writing instead of everything else. So this rather contradicts your statement in saying that writing can be dumb, but then you later complain about the writing being dumb. It's very confusing as a stance, Alex, and I would prefer if you were more clear on this point as a whole. It's weird because in many of your other videos you talk about plot and writing like it's media's bread and butter as a foundation, but then in your other videos you couldn't care less whether good writing is there or not.
Nothing about the plot makes sense. The main plot, it'd be generous to call this a plot. Movies aren't about logic and plot. That's why I almost never talk about those things.
It really feels like you only talk about good writing when it's really convenient for you, which is a problem because if you as a media critic are not clearly defining your standards, which would be a problem for your main audience if they watch your videos all the time, because they'll be surely confused by your lack of clear standards for media.
I don't know. Superheroes can be dumb, but they can also be inspirational. Movies can be dumb, but also be a ton of fun.
This analogy has always been really weird to me when it comes up, because yes, some movies can be dumb, but the way you present your point is weird, to be honest. When you say superheroes can be dumb, you throw up a clip of Adam West's Batman from the 60s, The problem with your argument there, Alex, is that the media is from a completely different period in time. Yes, it's dumb, but it was kind of meant to be, because the general public wanted Batman to be more kid-friendly. So, yes, it's dumb, Alex, but this piece of Batman media pretty much popularized Batman as a character. Without this interpretation, we probably wouldn't have gotten any of the modern-day Batman movies that you love so dearly. An even better comparison to your point would be Shazam, since 1, it's connected to the same universe as Black Adam, and 2, Shazam and Black Adam are arch-rivals, which makes the comparison more tight. However, instead you compare a modern-day superhero movie to a 1960s version of a character. How can you even remotely compare these two? Then you start to say that they can be inspirational. Wait, now I'm starting to become confused with your point. Are you trying to say that superhero movies can be dumb and inspirational at the same time? Or are you trying to make a point that dumb and inspirational are on the opposite ends of the spectrum in movie criticism? I am very confused. It also doesn't help that you say this movie is inspirational, so it leads me to believe that you're referring to the point that superhero movies can be dumb and inspirational at the same time. But then you put up a clip of the Batman on screen, which makes me think you're referring to them both as different spectrums. So if you're ever to get the chance to redo this video, I would recommend that you clearly define this point.
Black Adam is dumb. But Black Adam is passionate. Black Adam is a chaotic display of badassery, an indulgent, explosive wrecking ball of power.
Isn't that literally most modern day movies? If badass is what makes a movie good for you, then you might enjoy the Transformers movies. They have a lot of action and they're also badass. Maybe you would also enjoy a lot of Marvel movies too. Oh wait, you don't really enjoy those that much, do you? Which is strange to me, because this movie follows a lot of things that Marvel movies do as well, which you begin to describe in a few seconds.
Black Adam should not work. Forced comedy that isn't too funny, a third act battle that is a copy-paste of every superhero third act battle, the characterization here is very thin, the twists very predictable, the dialogue very stilted, unnatural, servicing the plot over the characters.
HiTop, this sounds like you're describing a very generic Marvel movie, and again, you really fucking hate Marvel movies judging from how many videos you make on them, and how many times you reference Marvel movies in your videos, of course. But he gets more into why he thinks this movie is so good, which we will discuss later on in the video.
And it worked for me, hopefully for you.
Unfortunately, it didn't work for me, mostly because of its multiple problems. Here's two little funny problems I had with the movie. The first being with the enemies Black Adam faces off against. When the soldiers shoot him, they can see him not reacting at all to the bullets. In fact, he even catches a few. So what do these strategic geniuses do? They keep shooting at him with the normal fucking bullets, of course. What else? Another hilarious part of the movie was when the kid had to rally up all the adults, so he just used his inside voice to gather hundreds of adults to fight against mystical skeletons. And when they do try to fight the skeletons, they just disappear a few seconds later, so all the inspirational shit felt pointless and didn't seem to serve a purpose.
Brimming with passion, Black Adam is also an inspiration.
You know, Alex, you keep on saying it's an inspiration, and yet I'm almost 2 minutes into the video and you haven't even discussed why that is. At a minimum, the video of your length should take 1 minute to introduce the topic point that you are introducing. You have taken nearly 2, and pretty much given me nothing of value in the process. All you have done is just repeating yourself in how inspirational and passionate this movie is, but have so far seen no reasoning into it. Thankfully, though, he seems to be getting into it, so let's take a look at his points.
But before we talk Black Adam, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Established Titles.
God fucking damn it, Alex. I'm not buying your fucking sponsorship deal you got. What even is this? Established Titles? Own a piece of land in the middle of bumfuck nowhere of Scotland to make your title officially a lord or a lady? What the fuck is this product meant for? Narcissists? I guess I could see it hung up in some obnoxious art teacher's home right next to their desk. If you buy this for your friend for Christmas or for their birthday, they are allowed to end the relationship right there with you. I would also like to note that this sponsor has been outed as a scam company, so if you buy goods and services from them, then you will not get what you paid for. Of course, Alex didn't really seem to look into the fact that the sponsorship was a scam. In fact, you haven't seemed to have mentioned it anywhere, not on your Twitter, not on YouTube, and not on your Patreon either. Didn't you say that you loved your fanbase? If you did, then why didn't you tell them about this when the news came out? I'm sure a lot of your core audience has wasted their money on this, and it feels extremely disingenuous for not even briefly mentioning it. So fuck you, Alex, you're kind of a scumbag.
Then you can even officially change your name to Lord or Lady, get it on your credit card, plane tickets, or even your dating profile.
My dating profile? Alex, you're like the wingman who cockblocks all his friends at parties. No one is dating you if you have that abomination of a profile. Your bio looks like a fucking Reddit incel nice guy's bio.
It can make a great last minute gifts for dads, moms, and there's even a couples pack that comes with adjoining plots of land.
Oh yeah, because that's what I'm getting my girlfriend. If your partner gives you this shit, you deserve better.
The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will be minutes away, within walking distance of my plot. We could establish a HiTop kingdom.
God, the last thing we need is you and your fan base running a small kingdom in Scotland, as if your ego isn't already big enough, Alex.
Black Adam. Oh boy, Black Adam. What a strange movie. It's a strange time in the DC film universe, and this was supposed to save it.
I can't put my finger as to why this sentence feels really fucking weird, but to me it just is. I think it's the fact that you mentioned Black Adam 2 fucking times in the span of 3 seconds.
They are banking on Black Adam. Black Adam. What a strange concept for a movie.
What the fuck is happening? Why do you keep repeating the words Black Adam and strange? Are you trying to put me in a trance? Also, why is it a strange concept for a movie, Alex? It seems like the most normal concept for a superhero movie.
A Captain Marvel, a Shazam villain that the general public knew nothing about.
So it's the fact that the general public knows nothing about his character? How the fuck is that even a strange concept? It has been done ever since the superhero genre existed. Showing the general public heroes they didn't previously know about, and if you're trying to say that it's a strange concept that a villain origin story is being made into a movie, then you are probably forgetting that Joker literally came out a few years ago. None of this is foreign or strange territory. What the fuck are you smoking, Alex?
Dueling it out with the Justice Society of America. So many things to establish, to invest the audience in. So many pieces, so many styles, so much energy, so much happened so fast. So much chaos on the screen and most likely behind the scenes.
Have any of you noticed anything? It's been almost 4 minutes since HiTop started his video, and he still hasn't gone to the fucking point yet. I get it. Black Adam is a chaotic, dumb movie with lots of passion in it. Now please, for my own sanity, explain why. Stop fucking padding out the video. I love money too, man, but if you have nothing of value to put into your script, then either redraft it or don't put it in.
Black Adam should not work. Forced comedy that isn't too funny, a third act battle that is a copy-paste of every superhero third act battle, the characterization here is very thin, the twists very predictable, the dialogue very stilted, unnatural, servicing the plot over the characters.
Finally, HiTop is actually getting somewhere. It only took him like a fucking third of the video to get there, but at least he finally got there. But here's the problem, Alex, you don't elaborate on why these things are bad. Sure, the movie has forced comedy, but you never even explain why that's a bad thing. I just have to fucking take your word for it, so for once, HiTop, I'll help you out. And I'll give you some examples on why the comedy doesn't work. For example, the Atom Smasher. The Atom Smasher is a perfect example of the one joke that people love poking the MCU for doing, that being the, well, that just happened comedy style. The Atom Smasher is the exact definition of that. The movie tries so hard to make him quirky and goofy. Look at him, he's even eating a box of chicken while Black Adam explains his origins and destroys property while following up with a quirky joke. And whilst doing that, he probably injured hundreds in the process. Thank you, Atom Smasher. That is one out of my many criticisms I can make for the comedy, but let's move on to HiTop's next point, which is the third act CGI monster battle. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory as to why it's bad, so I'll give it a bit of leeway, but I wouldn't say that every movie that ends in a CGI monster battle is bad, so maybe some more elaboration on why it's bad would be nice. But I'll still give you that point since it's pretty annoying. Mostly I don't mind the CGI monster, it's the motivations of the monster that annoys me. That being that the monster wants to destroy the whole world, and that's his only motivation. Anyway, moving on.
The characterization here is very thin.
Again, HiTop, how is the characterization thin? You give no arguments as to why. At least give me one argument as to why you think this way. I didn't like Black Adam as a character because his whole character is claiming that he's not a hero, while doing things that heroes do. The whole movie is about him learning to become a better hero and work in a team environment better, when he was already doing things that heroes do to begin with. Superheroes killing people have never stopped anyone from being heroes before, but whatever.
The twist is very predictable.
So, your example on why this movie shouldn't work is very flimsy, if I'm gonna be straight with you here. Again, HiTop, why was it predictable? Was it because they literally spoiled the twist in the trailers? Nah, that couldn't be. By the way, being predictable isn't a bad thing in movies. It just means you were smart enough to guess the twist coming. The only way that something being predictable is bad is if it breaks continuity, character motives, is illogical, and etc. Being right about something that happens in a movie isn't even a bad thing. It's like saying every superhero movie sucks because the hero wins. Same for your oh so precious Spider-Man 2 movie. So again, predictable doesn't mean bad. It's fine to be predictable so long as it isn't poorly written in the process.
The dialogue very stilted, unnatural, servicing the plot over the characters.
Again, I would ask why the dialogue is stilted. I won't go into why this point is bad since I've already done so for his previous examples, but go off, I guess, Alex.
My standards are as inconsistent as my upload schedule.
I'm glad that you're at least aware of how much of a hypocrite you are, HiTop. That doesn't make your content better overall because you're self-aware. In fact, it makes your content worse because you know. Jesus, Alex, you are so fucking obnoxious.
Black Adam is a chaotic mess, but it's an endearing one.
Okay, Alex, we get it. Black Adam is dumb and inspiring. It's chaotic and endearing. Can you please stop repeating yourself? And for the love of God, please just move on and tell us why you think it's good.
The action hits. It's impactful, earth-shattering, which is so rare to see in these things nowadays. Punches feel like punches. The sound mixing, the direction, the editing are all in support of making you feel Black Adam's power. And you do.
Kind of agree with HiTop here. The action in this movie is really solid, but sometimes the CGI is really weird. It looks mostly weird when Black Adam is just floating around. It looks really goofy. There are also some weird moments in the film that the CGI was way more noticeable than other times. It mostly happens when The Rock goes in slow motion, and the shit he does just looks really weird. Yes, Alex, the action is good, but after the 10th battle with an explosion in it, it really doesn't hit as much as the first explosion because of how repetitive the fights are. They are constantly spammed throughout the movie. It feels like Michael Bay directed this. And yes, HiTop, I know the action scenes are supposed to be gratuitous, but just because a thing is supposed to be a certain way doesn't make it a get-out-of-jail-free card for the film. I could equivalent that to you complaining about the MCU and its style of comedy, and I could say, yeah, it's funny, but that's the point. You see how flimsy that defense is, Alex? It can literally work for any movie you like and dislike. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't exactly call this style of action fresh. In fact, it's been pretty overdone in a lot of superhero movies, where it's just mainly CGI fight scenes that are polished but have no substance to them.
There are these beautiful looking scenes set to the most corny of music choices where The Rock just kills hundreds upon hundreds of intergang goons. It's gratuitous, but that's the point. It's cathartic, it's fresh, it's fun, it knows exactly what it's trying to do and accomplishes it with elegance. A homage and extension to Snyder's paintings of extreme violence, except with a superhero anti-hero that I want to see destroy armies, murder the evil.
I find it kind of strange that Alex is comparing these fight scenes to Snyder fight scenes. Most of the time, they are pretty goofy at points. I think he's talking about the points where the JLA isn't in the fight scenes, and it's just Black Adam just fighting, and that's where it counts as a homage to Snyder's fight scenes. And even then, I don't know how they're a homage to Snyder fight scenes. Unless you're talking about only DC properties, then I'll give you some credit there.
Cape flicks have become comedies, but this is firmly comfortable, committed to being a gigantic, loud action movie, a B-movie roller coaster, a showcase of powerful gods.
Again, Alex, cape flicks aren't comedies. Marvel movies are, which is only a portion of superhero movies as a whole. And I find it hilariously hypocritical of you, Alex, that you are criticizing the MCU for having awful comedy, and then pretending like Black Adam isn't one of those other films when you literally criticized the comedy before. It's obnoxious, in your face, and very forced. Black Adam is in the same brain space as a Marvel movie. Both are extremely stupid and unfunny, but again, you don't seem to mind as much when it's this movie compared to the MCU.
There's way more visual texture here than in the last half-decade of Marvel films, than in most modern superhero flicks.
No, yes, Black Adam is very well shot, but saying it looks better than Guardians 2, Eternals, and more is extremely concerning. Look, Black Adam is okay with its cinematography and everything. It looks like a fine movie, but comparing it to Guardians 2? How is that even remotely comparable?
What do I mean by texture? Black Adam doesn't look sterile, like gray, overly polished porcelain shot in the behind of a Best Buy. There's dynamic lighting, poppy colors, kineticism, visual rhythm, a style. To put it simply, for the most part, it actually looks like a movie.
My favorite thing about the movie is like it feels like a movie.
What the fuck are you going on about, Alex? And who the fuck is that person speaking in the background? It feels like a movie? What the fuck does that even mean? There are thousands of movies out there, and does that mean if they aren't shot like Black Adam, they aren't real movies? Your point genuinely confuses me, Alex.
I love the idea of Black Adam being a hero for his people. And we actually see the people here. We too often don't see the non-powered people, never get to empathize with them, but here we do.
This is another strange point that HiTop compliments the film for, because I have no idea what he means by people aren't included in CBMs, because most CBMs these days usually include the people's reactions, or even dialogue to help the world feel more alive. Yes, HiTop, I do see the people. I'm so glad I knew they exist. Now, I won't show the 30 seconds of footage of Alex just describing Black Adam's personality. He tends to have a knack for repeating himself and stating the obvious so many times that it feels like you're watching the first minute of his video on repeat.
It's a movie about violence that doesn't feel the need to break the cycle of it. Black Adam's growth is not clean, his pain is not neatly grown past nor forgotten, and that's refreshing.
I guess? I mean, the main reason why it's not neatly handled is because 1, it's poorly written as a film, and 2, Black Adam is an anti-hero, he's supposed to be morally grey at points, so I don't understand how this is refreshing to you, Alex, since this is most of the anti-hero movies I've seen just toned down.
The passion from Dwayne Johnson is so palpable, his performance, his promotion, all of it seeming so sincere.
Again, HiTop, you haven't substituted any of these claims at all, and these aren't even great examples. If your actors are passionate about a movie, they should not even be the deciding factor on why a movie is good. And his performance isn't even good, it's just The Rock playing The Rock, except this time he's a bit more serious. Can I point out something as well? I haven't really heard anyone criticize him for this before. The way he delivers his lines is genuinely fucking awful. It's really distracting, sometimes he's fine, but on some parts of his video he just emphasizes a word way too much, and he starts to sound like Chills. I can't even replicate how he says it, but holy hell is it annoying. Maybe it's just for me, but the delivery of his lines really puts me off from his videos.
Black Adam is a chaotic mess, but it's an inspiring one.
God fucking damn it, HiTop. You fucking did it again. Stop repeating yourself. I get it. It's fucking inspiring. But please tell me why it is inspiring. because Dwayne's passion for the movie is not a valid compliment. Since it's not even the movie itself you're complimenting, it's the actor. Holy fuck, I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over. This is a bloody nightmare.
I don't know what it is about the character of Black Adam that made The Rock so interested, so passionate, so dedicated that he spent the last decade or more trying to get this movie made. I don't understand what about this story spoke to him, but I do understand that dedication.
Yup, most actors are dedicated to their craft. Look at Jenna Ortega in her Wednesday interviews. She seems to be really passionate about what she worked on. I really don't see the point you're trying to make here, you numbskull. But trust me, it gets worse from here. So what I've done is cut out a minute of him promoting his fan film. It really feels like this whole dedication point was to just plug his Jason Todd fan film. Even though in the video he tries to convince you it's not. Okay, if it's not, then why is it a minute long? Why is it more than halfway into your video? Why are you doing this when trying to make a point about The Rock's dedication when it seems that you've only made a point to take advantage of advertising?
I guess what I'm trying to say is Black Adam, the film, and Dwayne Johnson's clear love of the character. That love is inspirational.
Just going to skip this point here since we've already covered it 1,000 fucking times.
Nobody believed that Dwayne could make a Black Adam movie. Nobody believed he could make Black Adam a household name. I'm sure his pitch for the film, his love of the character, got rejected, laughed at thousands of times. But he kept going. And he did it.
First of all, Black Adam still isn't a household name and probably won't be for years to come. Second of all, this whole shit about Dwayne trying to get his project made for years is inspirational, I'll give you that, but I don't know how it translates to the quality of this movie. The exact same thing happened to the guy who tried making Squid Games. His idea got rejected so many times and then it finally got made. It's inspirational, sure, but it doesn't excuse Squid Games from being an incoherently written mess, though.
And if he can do that, if he can keep fighting, it is only more fuel to the fire to all of us who have a desire that is called silly, a selfless love that is called ludicrous, a dream that is called unreachable.
What the fuck are you talking about, Alex? Are you fucking high? It will only fuel the fire to all of us who have a desire that is called silly. I want you to comprehend what he just said for a few seconds, because it does not sound like a coherent sentence. I think this is just more or less him trying to sound really deep while making his videos. Bro, you're a YouTube critic who has a really weird obsession with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. You aren't deep, stop trying to be. I make YouTube reviews, I don't also sprinkle in a few words of the holy scripture while I'm at it. If you want it to be deep, then that's fine, but please stop taking random words from a thesaurus and shoving it into your sentences. Also, how is being ludicrous a selfless thing? Whatever, the video is a few seconds away from finishing. This is like trying to extract logistical thinking from a CW show.
Black Adam. Who would have thought?
Not me, it's still a dog shit movie, and if you were one of the few poor souls who took a shot every time he said Black Adam, then I feel sorry for you. Your stomach is probably being pumped right now. Now that we've reached the end of this video, I hope you've learned a lesson from HiTop on how not to review a piece of media, because this is one of the worst reviews I've ever seen in my life. Constantly repeating himself, not substituting his claims at all, and the video being so short that all of his points felt rushed. If you're wanting to make YouTube reviews, whenever you make a compliment or criticism, you need to back it up. If you don't, then you're going to have content like this pouring out. If you dislike a character, then say why you dislike a character. Are they a plot device? Are their motives illogical or inconsistent to their character? Have they been character assassinated? These are the questions you need to be asking yourself when thinking why you dislike a character and much more. I hope you enjoyed this video of mine. I know it is very different from my usual style of content, but HiTop has always been bothering me as a creator for a while, and I thought I might as well discuss why his content is abhorrent. Please do not harass Alex, this is merely a video about me criticizing his content. I do not wish hate upon this person. Alex is a human being, and while he does make questionable content at best, that does not mean he deserves to be harassed. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Letterboxd and Serialize for more content and reviews. and be sure to follow me on Twitter for more updates on my content. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.